Good afternoon. Would you stand with me, please? I'd like to welcome you to the Rotary Club of Columbus's January 25th Rotary Club meeting. We call the meeting to order. Just before we get started, there's a couple of people that I want us to just take a moment of silence in reference to their passing. Jimmy Coppage was a member of our club, passed away on last Thursday. And Johnny Johnson, son of Mike Johnson, also passed away. So can we take just a minute, a moment of silence in their honor? Let's do that, please. Thank you very much. Now, if you would join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this point, I'd like to call on Wayne to give us an invocation according to his faith tradition, if you would.
Thank you, Cedric. Let us pray. Oh God, we gather here in this place in the midst of comfort, food, friends, and peace. But we are keenly aware that around the world there are Rotarians who are gathered in a place where there is no heat, there is no food, there is no comfort. We pray that you will be with them in a special way and lead us in terms of what we do to make our world a safer and better place to live. And we're also keenly aware of all these young people here and the people, the adults that have made an impact on their lives. Encourage them in their life and then encourage those who invest their lives to making the world a better place. Bless Rotary now as it seeks to serve. And as we serve the shining light that you give us, we pray it in your name. Amen. Remember the cans, all the good you can do. This is for food, for special projects. Yes. You may be seated.
Thank you. At this point, I'd like to call on Ben. Where are you? Ben, if you would come and give us the news for the day.
Thank you, President Cedric. Today is January 25th, and here are your headlines. Epic Restaurant named one of our North America's most distinguished restaurants. Columbus restaurant Epic has landed on a list of the top 40 fine dining eateries in the United States, is the only one in Georgia. Epic, located in downtown Columbus, is owned by Chef Keating and his wife, Melissa. And Keating, who opened the Epic in 2012, called his restaurant's appearance on the prestigious list a huge honor, considering it includes fine dining restaurants from across the U.S., a number of them in New York, Chicago, and other major California cities. Germany to send further military support to Ukraine. German's chancellor has said that his government plans to send further military support to Ukraine beyond the 14 tanks announced previously. Alongside the tanks that are being discussed, the German government intends to expand what has been delivered, including air defense systems, heavy artillery, and multiple rocket launchers. Back-to-back shootings in California, Iowa, and Washington leave communities grieving. A series of back-to-back shootings have made for a heart-wrenching several days in multiple cities across the country that now join a growing list of American communities scarred by gun violence. There have been 40 mass shootings in the U.S. so far in 2023, a number higher than any year on record. Our thoughts and prayers go to all the families that are struggling to cope with these tragedies. And finally, it was on this day in 1924 that the first Olympics began in the French Alps. The events were such a success that the International Olympic Committee officially designated the Winter Games to occur every 4 years, bringing us some of our favorite Olympic sports and athletes in modern day. You can expect light rain today with a high of 63 and a low of 37. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you, Ben. At this point, we'd like to call on Ms. Haley if she would come and give us our visitors and guests. There we are.
Hey, good afternoon, Rotary family. We have a lot of amazing guests with us today from our STAR student program, but I do want to recognize two of our visiting Rotarians and Rotarians who brought a guest. We have Mr. Joel Hammond. We're so glad. His home club is downtown Atlanta, but he's now moved back to Columbus, so we would love to have Joel become a family. Joel, raise your hand for me. Welcome. And then Michael Woodham is a visiting guest of Mr. Jack Rosenhammer. Michael, where are you at? Wonderful. Welcome so much. Let's give a warm welcome to our guests. We're so glad you're here today.
Thank you, Haley, and again to our visiting Rotarians and guests, we want to acknowledge you and thank you for being with us today, and more especially our STAR students. At this point, I'd like to call on Andy Redmond. Andy, if you will come and share with us our Soldier of the Week.
Thank you, President Cedric. Fellow Rotarians, it's my honor to introduce to you today the Colonel Ralph Puckett Soldier of the Week. Sergeant Evelyn Diaz is a military police officer assigned to the headquarters out at Fort Benning as the operations sergeant. She's been in the Army 7 years, served various places, did an overseas deployment. She was stationed in Kuwait, but in that role, she was on the protective service detail for the senior Army officer in the theater. So extensive travels on that protective service detail all over the Middle East. She's married to Sergeant First Class Devin Diaz. They have a son and a daughter. They live over in Fort Mitchell and will be here for a while. So Sergeant Diaz, it's an honor to have you here. Let me grab this pile of stuff. So we're going to give you a couple things. First is a Rotary Challenge coin, and I don't know what to do with the challenge coin, so keep that on you. A little explanation about Colonel Puckett and his Medal of Honor action. A certificate honoring you as the Colonel Ralph Puckett Junior Soldier of the Week. And I'm missing a certificate. I'll get it to you. Oh, there it is. Right there. A passport to the arts with 2 tickets each to the River Center, Columbus Symphony Orchestra, our paid attractions at the Infantry Museum, Columbus State University, and Springer. So we hope you and your husband will have a great time going to those events. And then the last thing is a Words for Warriors book with an inscription in the front about Colonel Puckett. So thank you for being here. We're honored to have you. Anything you want to say to the crowd? Okay.
First of all, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to express my gratitude for the invitation and being here today. I look forward to meeting some interesting people, and of course, thank you for the nice chow. It's really good. And that is it. Thank you again. God bless.
And fellow Rotarians, I got one more favor to ask for you. It's that time of year again. Your National Infantry Museum has been nominated once again as the best free museum in the United States and the best history museum in the United States. The voting started about a week ago. We're currently in first place in the best free museum category. We're holding at number 3. We need some help to get to number 1 in the best history category. On the back table there next to Haley are flyers. We hope you'll take one. You can vote every day on every device that's connected to the internet. Take a picture of the little QR code and it'll lead you to the voting site. And thanks in advance for your vote. Vote multiple times, early and often. Thanks.
Thank you. Staff Sergeant Diaz, I want to say on behalf of the 270 members of this club, we so appreciate you being here with us today and being our guests. And please take back to your fellow soldiers on Fort Benning how much we appreciate what you all do for us. Again, let's give her a hand for being with us today. I'd like to call on Jay O'Neill, would you come and give us a district conference announcement. Where's Jay? There we are.
Hey guys, how are you? I told President Cedric that I do not have a little jig or dance to compete with the bonds. I'll leave that all up to you guys. But I did want to get in front of you and just kind of briefly ask, how many in this room have never been to a district conference? And I'm talking to the Rotarians. Seeing hands, I'm seeing hands. Okay, how many in this room have not been to a district conference in, let's say, 5 years? More hands. That's way too many hands in this room. That means every hand that went up needs to go down to district conference. It will be the end of April coming up. If you guys have never been, I promise you, you're missing out. I didn't know what I was missing out on until I went for my first time last year. The networking is incredible. The fellowship is incredible. Of course, there's always the famous Bond Hospitality Suite. But I would urge you guys to get out and meet some of the other folks from the other groups. Not just those that are right near us, but those that are furthest away from us. Go meet some folks, go network, go make some friends. If you guys have any questions or would like to go ahead and register, I think it's the first 10. The first 10 registrants that are going this year that have never been, the club is actually going to pay your registration fee. So you have no excuse. Hope to see you guys there, and if you have any questions, let us know. Have a good day.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you so much. And I attest to the fact the district conference is something that you would both very much benefit from, to collaborate and associate with fellow Rotarians and then people with this club within the confines of our club. Also, please plan to attend the district assembly, which will be held March 25th here at the Trade Center. Great opportunities to learn more about Rotary and the district itself. And let the office know if you plan to attend. And then tomorrow from 6 p.m. until 8 p.m., we will have a Zoom happy hour mix from the comfort of your own home this time. So we ask that you would be a part of that, partake of that. At this point, I'd like to thank Wayne Anthony for giving us the invocation, and we'd like to call on Adelaide Kirk if you would come and give us our program today.
Thank you so much, President Cedric. I'm always so excited for this day. It is my absolute favorite program. Dr. Lewis and I may be a little biased. We were commenting on that. It's my favorite program all year long because we get to talk about such a wonderful topic, and that's kids who are doing, well, actually young adults, who are doing great things. And sometimes that gets glossed over in the day-to-day news and just the things we hear around us. So today always excites me. If you've been here for very long, you probably know a lot of what I'm about to say, but we do have a lot of new members and a lot of new folks. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the STAR program itself. It was actually created in 1958 by the Georgia Chamber of Commerce, and every accredited high school in the state of Georgia is eligible to participate in the program. The Professional Association of Georgia Educators, so the PAGE Foundation, assumed responsibility for administering the program in the mid-1990s, I guess, and they considered it a great privilege, as do we here at the Rotary Club of Columbus, to be able to recognize Georgia's future leaders and professional educators in this way. We're really excited because when I think about what a tough road it is for these folks to get where they are, these kids to get where they are, to obtain the STAR nomination, high school students must have the highest score on any single test date of the two-part SAT and be in the top 10% or top 10 students in their class based on their GPA. The nominees' SAT scores must also be equal to or higher than the latest available national average of the test. So each high school STAR student then has the opportunity to select their STAR teacher who has had someone who has had an impact on their educational career. And it can be anyone. It can be someone in their high school, but I have known students to select elementary school teachers or middle school teachers, so anyone who's had a huge impact on them. And the two of those will go together through the process. So the winner here today will move on to the region. There are 12 STAR regions in the state of Georgia. We are Region 5. And the winner here today will move on to the Region 5 Awards. And that'll be held February the 27th at the Cunningham Center right here in Columbus. And the Rotary Club of Columbus, again, actually sponsors that event. So we're really excited with what's coming today. And I just want to stop for just 2 seconds before we introduce you to all the students and say just a couple of words. And the first thing is to the teachers that were selected, as well as the other educators and administrators that are in this room. You were picked by a kid, a student, who thought enough of you and the impact that you had in their life to bring you along with them in this ride, so to speak. And I think that says a lot, because I've talked to a lot of students over the course of the last 8 or 10 years that I've been working with this program, and never once has a student said to me, "Oh, I picked them because they were easy." You know, almost every one of them to a T has said because they challenged me in some way. They made me think harder. They made me look at stuff differently. They made me be better. That's what they're basically leading up to, whatever they filled in with those words. And I come from a family of educators. I have 3 siblings and 2 parents, and all of them are educators but me. I was the lone wolf out here. But I have such an insider's appreciation for the struggle of being an educator and how tough it can be to connect with students. So the first thing I want to do is congratulate, and if you'll join me, Rotary Club, in congratulating all of the educators and the teachers in the room. And the second thing I want to do is talk to the students. So some of you, most of you have heard me say this before because I say it every year. This award right now is purely based around a test score. Who had the highest test score? And I think sometimes we get caught up in numbers. And you know what? As a student and as a person, you are so much more than a test score. And all of you will make an impact today. You know, no doubt most of you are good or really good at a whole lot of things, because most students that excel at this level are. And you'll have a lot of people pushing you to go do this or do that because you excel in that area. And I would say to you, and this is my opinion, take a step back and think about what you're passionate about what you can be passionate about moving forward. And it's different for every person. But if you're passionate about something, when you work towards that, you'll well, I won't say you'll never work a day in your life, because that's really not true. You will. But you'll make a difference. And that difference can be because you're in a classroom somewhere, or you're in a research laboratory somewhere. It could be because you're in a third world country halfway around the world. It doesn't matter what it is. If you're passionate about it, then you truly will change the world, even if the world is just those people you interact with every day. So just don't let someone push you just because you excel at a lot of things in the way that you don't want to go. Have that conversation with yourself first and think through that process, and then find what you're passionate about, and then go for it with everything that you have. So enough from me. We're going to move on to what we're here for today. We have 11 schools here today, 8 from Muskogee County, and 3 private schools are part of this here today. And I want to welcome all of you. As we announce you, I'm going to ask Melanie Vineyard, one of my fellow Rotarians. She is going to come up here, and she's going to hand you your award when we call out your name. And I'd like for you to step to this microphone right here, introduce yourself, introduce the folks that are with you at your table, and then introduce us to your star teacher, and we'll call her forward. I'll give your second, parents, and our club photographer to take a picture, so we will pause long enough for everybody to do that. So, we all ready? And Melanie, make sure we start with the right way. All right. So they're in alphabetical order, so just so you'll know. The first school is Brookstone School, and the star student is Luke McDaniel. Oh, absolutely. Sorry, I should have said that. I'm sorry, President Cedric is going to hand them the award. I got a little ahead of myself.
Just want to be in everything.
My name is Luke McDaniel. I go to Brookstone, obviously. I have my mom and my dad here, my principal, Mr. Sullivan, and my college counselor, Mr. Mack. Then I brought my English teacher, Dr. Harkey, who's my cross-country coach for a long time and really pushed me my whole life. So, yeah.
Luke, let me ask you, I forgot to say, will you tell us if you know what your plans are after high school?
Okay. I plan to attend the Georgia's Honor College and study molecular biology and biochem, and hopefully minor in Spanish because I just like the language. So.
Awesome, thank you. And her star teacher is Dr. John Harkey. And I'm gonna. Thank you, Luke and Dr. Harkey, for being the guinea pigs. Now everybody knows how it's done, right? So, our second school is Calvary Christian School, and the star student is Peyton Dorman.
Hello, I'm too short for this.
You can pull it down. Just tip it down a little bit, yeah.
Thank you. I am Peyton. I'm from Calvary, and I'm joined by my lovely parents. We have Gina and Lance, and my English teacher as well, who has also very, very much pushed me and seen me as a student, and my college counselor. So for college, my plans are still a little bit nebulous, and I haven't decided where I'm going to go, but I definitely want to major in English, especially creative writing, and hopefully become an author or a bibliotherapist.
Wonderful. Jessica Valdeparis. Our next school is Carver High School, DeErica Anthony.
I am DeErica Anthony. I attend Carver, as you heard. I have my mom, my big mama, my dad, my English teacher, who's basically like a second mom to me, my counselor, and my assistant principal. I plan to attend Howard University and study nursing or pre-med. I'm not really sure which one I want to do yet, but I'll figure it out. And today's my birthday, so.
Well, happy birthday. And our star teacher is Miss Tracy Green. From Columbus High School, we have Shampan Bhattacharya.
I'm Shampan Bhattacharya. I'm from Columbus High School. I'm joined with my star teacher, Miss Mills, who was my English teacher in 10th grade and is now my AP research teacher, and also my principal, Dr. Crumbs. My parents could not make it here, but they've also been a huge influence on my life. Miss Mills has always been a teacher who has set high standards for all her students and has imbued her classroom with love and with enthusiasm. Even in the virtual years, the pandemic years, through the screen, I could tell her love for teaching and her love for her students. So I'd like to thank her. I'm going to Georgia Tech. I'm majoring in computer engineering. That's it.
Awesome. Miss Lisa Mills. From Hardaway High School, we have Edgardo Diokno.
Hi, my name is Edgardo Diokno. I'm joined by my parents, my mom and my dad. I'm joined by my senior counselor, Miss Osborne, my principal, Mr. McNeil, and my star student, also my star teacher, also my history teacher, Mr. Larkin. I will be attending Columbus State University and majoring in pre-medical.
Wonderful. Mr. Shane Larkin. From Kendrick High School, Zuri Harris.
Hi, I'm Zuri Harris from Kendrick High School. I'm joined with by my grandmother, Josephine Caldwell, by my twin sister, Effini, my principal, Dr. James, my star teacher, Miss Farley, and my senior counselor, Miss Johnson. I'm going to be going to either Mercer or Emory for pre-med, and I want to be an OBGYN.
Wonderful. Miss Lola Farley. From Northside High School, Melinda Bellin.
Hi, I'm Melinda Belen, And with me today, I have my principal, Mr. Richburg, my counselor, Ms. Dean, my history teacher, Ms. Kraus, my father, and my grandmother, who is so kind as to spend her birthday here today. And my STAR teacher is Ms. Kraus because she took my worst subject and made me actually pay attention in history. I want to go to Mercer University and study biomedical engineering, and I want to help design prosthetics someday.
Wonderful. Sarah Kraus. From the Rainey McCullers School of the Arts, we have Samuel Foster.
Hello, my name is Samuel Foster. I'm joined here today by my mother. Our principal had to go back to school, and my teacher, Mr. Brian Walker. I've applied to several colleges, including the University of Chicago, and I hope to major in economics and political science.
Wonderful. Mr. Brian Walker. From St. Anne Pacelli Catholic School, we have Benjamin Oliver.
My name is Benjamin Oliver. I'm here with my father and stepmother, Mark and Kathleen, and my mother and stepfather, Katrina and David, my principal, Miss Brewster, my counselor, Miss Turner, and then my amazing STAR teacher, Mrs. Chen, who taught me algebra in 7th grade and geometry in 8th grade. When I first started, she's an immigrant from China, so I was kind of hard to understand her for the first 2 weeks, but then I got to understand her, and she had a profound and transformative impact on my academics and just gave me a really great basis for math to go into high school with.
After school?
I plan on attending West Point and hope to commission as an officer.
Awesome. Ms. Sumei Chen. From Shaw High School, we have Araylin James.
Hello, my name is Araylin James, and I'm joined by my mother and father, Tonda and Kevin James. I'm also joined by my principal, Dr. Hendricks, my counselor, Ms. Alexander, and my STAR teacher, Mr. Tracy. I chose Mr. Tracy because, first of all, he has to deal with me in class. But most importantly, he's always pushed me to do better. Math wasn't always my strong subject, and now it is.
After school?
After high school, I plan on going to Auburn University to major in computer science to become a software developer.
Awesome. Mr. Joshua Tracy. And from Spencer High School, we have Anaya Johnson.
Hello, my name is Anaya Johnson. With me, I have my mother, my 3 youngest sisters, a good friend, Trinity, Dr. Freeman, and Miss Washington, who's standing in place of my star teacher, Miss Dixon, who is such an amazing teacher. And after high school, I plan to go to Purdue University and study aeronautical science so that I can be a commercial pilot.
Great. So Miss Melethea Dixon, but accepting the award is Miss Washington. Let's give everybody a round of applause. I don't know about y'all, but after hearing all that, I feel like we're in pretty good hands moving forward. What do you think? So I heard the words, challenged me and was transformative for me. Those, again, go back to what exceptional teachers and educators we're lucky to have in our schools here in Muskogee County across the board. And I just want to say thank you again to all the teachers and administrators in the room. So without further ado, our winner from Muskogee County, who will move on to the Region 5 Awards in February, at the end of February. Our winner this year comes from Columbus High School, Shamban Bhattacharya. And Miss Mills, if you'll come on up too, we have awards for you.
Thank you once again. Again, I'd like to thank Ms. Mills and all the administrators from Columbus High School for creating an environment that fostered and nurtured not only my growth, but the growth of all of its students. That environment has definitely played a huge role in who I am and what I aspire to be. Congratulations to all the other competitors, and good luck to all of you. Thank you.
How can an English teacher be without words? So first of all, let me give the caveat. Some of us are dressed kind of strangely today. It's because it's Be Kindness Week in Muskogee County, so today is Hippie Day. I have my rose-colored glasses at school. That's probably why some people have on beads and things. But thank you to the Rotary Club for your recognition of these amazing young people. Shampan, he is a computer genius. My keyboard locked up one day, and I said, I was just lucky enough to have him in class, and I said, Shampan, I can't even take roll. And so he came to the rescue, and it was fixed in about 5 seconds. So they're so far ahead of us as far as all that goes. And I'm so proud of everything he has already done and all that you all have yet to do. But thank you so much for the recognition.
Thank you again, and thank you to my fellow Rotarians and for President Cedric and the board. It's wonderful that we can support our students in this way to recognize their achievements and the achievements of those who encourage them along the way. So thank you again.
If you are a Rotarian and a member of this club, why don't you join me in standing for just a second to recognize these wonderful people and the wonderful things that they're doing in our community. time in which we're living, we hear so much that's not good and so much that's negative. But today is a remarkable day about remarkable people doing remarkable things. And we cannot thank you enough for that. And as it was said a few minutes ago, our community is in better hands with the future that we're looking at in this room. So we highly encourage you, and educators, not only do we encourage you, we pray for you every day. Let's give them another hand as we can. I'd like to re-welcome Staff Sergeant Diaz. Thank you again for being with us today. Just a reminder, a replay of today's program will be both on our Facebook and our YouTube page. Next week's program will be Catherine Fields, GRSP Foundation History. At this point, I'd like to call Wayne back up and ask you to stand with me as he gives us our motto, which is our 4-way test. Wayne, if you would.
In all the things that we think, say, or do, is it true? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Shall I dismiss? Please. You are dismissed. Thank you.